Welcome to session. Today we will discuss electronic transitions in UV visible spectroscopy. Electronic transitions. Before going to electronic transition, what is UV visible spectroscopy? It deals with the measurement of energy absorbed when electrons are promoted to higher energy levels. It deals with the measurement of energy absorbed when electrons are promoted to higher energy levels. See, if you have some object having green color, if you have some this is a bulb, visible source, and if the light radiation irradiated on this object with I0 intensity, some of the light absorbed by the object and remaining will come as IT. It is called transmitted light, intensity of transmitted light. This intensity of transmitted light will taken by the eye and will perceive the color as green color. But actually the radiation taken by the eye not corresponds to green color. It is the complementary color of the green color. So why we are seeing the object as color means some of the light radiation absorbed by the object and remaining taken by the transmitted light by the eye. So some radiation absorbed by the object. So due to this there is electronic transitions. Electronic transitions in the atoms or molecules. Taken in the atoms or molecules. See, for example, sodium. If you heated in a flame, we will see golden yellow color. Why we are getting this color? When you supply heat to the sodium metal. The electronic configuration for sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Okay. You will see the energy levels. You see the inner orbitals here. Okay. Here, this is 1s, 2s, 2p, here 2 electrons, here 6 electrons. Here 1 electron. This is 3s and we have empty 3p orbital. Okay. If you give energy to the metal, what happens? The electron in the outermost orbital shell will jump into the vacant p orbital. So the electron will undergo transition to the or excitation to the 3p orbital. But 3p orbital is unstable. Again, it will come back to the 3s orbital. So this phenomenon will get some radiation. It is called electromagnetic radiation. So it is appear as color. So when electronic transition obtained, it is due to excitation and also absorption. Okay. But it is for atoms. If you have molecules, if you see AB2 type molecule, this is A, central atom, this is B, maybe like this. The bonds between the two atoms is not rigid, they are flexible. So when you supply energy to this, it may undergo different type of transitions. First one is electronic transitions. For electronic transitions, it need more energy. Second one is vibrational transitions. Okay, why? Because the bond lengths are not rigid and they are flexible, it may undergo vibrational transitions. And the third one is it didn't want more energy, less, it is undergo with less energy also, it is rotational energy. So if the molecules undergo three types of transitions: electronic, vibrational, rotational transitions. Okay, UV spectroscopy concerned with electronic transitions of the molecule. So if you have ethane, if you consider ethane molecule, what are the type of orbitals we have or bonds we have? This is sigma bond and it is sigma bond. So the transition can occur here only is from sigma to sigma star transition. Sigma is bonding orbital and it is anti-bonding orbital. We can call it as ground state and it is excited state, or it is HOMO and it is LUMO. HOMO is highest occupied molecular orbital and LUMO is lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. Okay, and if you take benzene, or ethylene simply, here we have two types of bond. This is sigma bond, this is sigma bond, and this is pi bond. Okay, if you have these orbitals, what are the type of transitions it may occur? Sigma to sigma star, pi to pi star. Same in the case of here also, sigma to sigma star and pi to pi star. Okay. So if we have ethanol, so these are sigma bonds and this corresponds to n electrons are non-bonding electrons. So if you have sigma and n orbitals or electrons, we have sigma to sigma star transitions, n to sigma star transitions. Okay. Saturated heteroatom containing molecules can undergo transition either sigma to sigma star or n to sigma star transitions. Okay, if you consider acetaldehyde, or maybe you can write like this. See, these are n bonding electrons, and it is pi, and it is sigma, sigma, and sigma. Here, the type of transition can undergo are sigma to sigma star, and sigma to pi star, and n to sigma star, and n to pi star, and pi to pi star, and pi to sigma star. But sigma to pi star and pi to sigma star are forbidden transitions. So we will not observe this type of transition. So the remaining transition sigma to sigma star, n to sigma star, n to pi star, and pi to pi star are typical transitions of we will see in the UV visible spectroscopy. Okay, if we see the energy diagram, the stable state is sigma. Afterwards, sigma bonding alpha, later pi, and later n bonding electrons orbitals, and later pi star, and later sigma star. Okay. The most stable energy state is sigma. Okay, the transitions are from sigma to sigma star and pi to pi star and n to pi star and n to sigma star. Okay, this corresponds to sigma to sigma star, and this is pi to pi star, and it is n to pi star, and it is n to sigma star. Okay, you can see the more energy difference in the sigma to sigma star. So the highest energy orbital transition is sigma to sigma star. You will see, and the lower energy difference is from n to pi star. The transition which is having less energy is n to pi star transition. So we will see one by one. First one corresponds to sigma star transition. Sigma to sigma star transition. For example, if you see cyclohexane or propane, we have only the sigma orbitals. The transition is from sigma to sigma star transition. It needs more energy, and if we know energy is inversely proportional to lambda. So more energy is less wavelength. All of you know UV radiation is divided into two regions, far or vacuum region, near or quartz region. Below 200 nanometers is far or vacuum region, and 200 to 800, 200 to 400 is UV and 400 to 800 is visible. The energy fall into the far or vacuum UV region. That is less than 200 nanometers. So if you consider pi to pi star transition, examples: ethylene, benzene, or butadiene, or any polyene, triene, like that. These molecules will undergo pi to pi star transition. Except ethylene, other molecules will fall into the UV region or near UV region, but only ethylene, it undergot transition with pi to pi star and will get lambda maximum at 180 nanometers. So these all other molecules will act as chromophores in the UV spectroscopy. What is chromophore? The group which is responsible for absorbing UV visible radiation. Okay, this is about pi to pi star transition. If you see N to pi star transition, you can see acetaldehyde, or nitromethane, like this. Here the typical transition is N to pi star transition, and the radiation will occur more than 200 nanometers or maybe 250, 280 nanometers, and the energy difference you see here is very small compared to sigma star, pi to pi star, so the wavelength is more. Okay. If you see N to sigma star transition, any saturated systems having heteroatoms, methanol, ethanolamine, or trimethylamine, these molecules undergo typical N to sigma star transition, and again most of the molecules will fall into the far UV region, that is less than 200 nanometers or 200 to 220, like this. This is the energy order. Okay, in UV spectroscopy the important transitions are pi to pi star and N to pi star. Remember, pi to pi star is less value, lambda maximum, and N to pi star is more. But if you see the epsilon value, it is epsilon is more for pi to pi star and it is less for N to pi star. Why? Because pi and pi star are in the same plane, so pi means molar absorptivity. Means how much strongly the electronic transition can take place by the chemical species at that particular wavelength. So if they are in the same plane, the pi to pi star is easily undergo transition. But if you consider n to pi star transition, why? Because n and pi orbitals are perpendicular to each other, so the value is less for n to pi star transition. Thank you very much.